What's goody two shoes, you guys? It is the week of August 3rd through August 9th. Bless! So today, Chiron has retrograded in Taurus, and it will be in retrograde in Taurus until about September 17th, and then it'll move back into Aries. Then it'll be in Aries, I think, for the rest of the year. Then it'll move back into Taurus for the long haul in 2027. So Chiron, the wounded healer, right? Chiron teaches us how to work with wounds that are never going to heal. They're always going to be present, but we are learning how to nourish and nurture ourselves and kind of tend to the wound. So wherever Taurus is in your chart, that's where you're going to maybe today feel this weird kind of like, it kind of like pulls focus. For me specifically, mine's in my midheaven and my moon is in Taurus. So I woke up today feeling emotionally, moon energy, a little like that, like, and I'm like, oh man, and I'm like, oh, Chiron went retrograde. So I'm having to like work on my emotional regulation and work on understanding how I am perceived, midheaven, can maybe affect my feelings, and how do I kind of like work on that, tend to that, and continue to kind of separate self from public perception, right? So that's just personal example, but look at where Chiron is, where Taurus is in your chart, and that's kind of where this is hitting, and then it'll move back, like I said, into Aries in September. So that's happening today. We are in August. It's my birthday month. Ooh. So we love August, okay? Leo, Virgo's on the horizon. Libra energy is getting activated this week on Thursday. Excuse my nail. Speaking of Libra and Venus, okay, beauty. This is not beautiful or balance. But Venus is ruled by Libra. It also is ruled by Taurus, so it's moving into a sign that it loves to be in. It is at home. So this is going to be a welcome little treat for us to have the planet of love and connection and money and value in its home sign of Libra. So this will be an emphasis on relationships specifically, especially because it's Libra, right? So Libra has to do with how the other, right? Ourselves and others. So a balancing of connections, a balancing of relationships through communication. Libra is an air sign. So talking about things that you need to talk about, getting on the same page, healing around things that maybe felt a little wonky. I feel like a contract, right? Coming back into some type of contract, mental contract with one another with the Libra energy. Like, okay, what are we doing? Where are we? This can be relational in sense of romantic. It could be platonic. It could be business. But it does feel like Venus and Libra is going to bring up that idea of like, okay, let's recommit to what we're doing in our relationships with our business partners, our romantic partners. And it is balancing, right? It's bringing a balance to things, maybe shifting things around. I need this, you need that. So, really lean into conversations with others, especially as we get to Thursday and on, with Libra being in Libra, Venus moving into Libra. It's gonna be in Libra for a long ass time because it's also gonna retrograde. Venus retrogrades terrify me. Okay, that is one transit that they scare me. So that's gonna happen, but not yet. So let's just balance as much as we can now. And then the other major transit that's happening this week is Mercury, the planet of communication, how we perceive things, how we process, is moving into Leo. So feeling more confident in what you're speaking, maybe how your creativity, expressing that, putting something out as Mercury moves into Leo on Sunday. So let's get into what messages we might have for this week. It's interesting. It's interesting energy with Chiron in the mix, but I think as all retrogrades do, and remember Saturn's still retrograde, Neptune's retrograde, Pluto's retrograde, we're still kind of like doubling back on things to like make sure that we got everything that we need to move forward. And so we get what we want and we are where we're needing to be on our own personal journey. So retrogrades is a slowing down, you know, a really tending to, I like that word, especially with Taurus. You tend to something like a garden, right? So let's see what the collective message is for the week of August 3rd through the 9th. The 8-8 Lionsgate is on Saturday. It's a fictitious astrological thing. It's not a real astrological thing, but it is the time where the sun and the star Sirius line up. So it makes it seem like a portal. So I still think it's like a day of abundance. 8 are about abundance. It's also about like having an opportunity to see results in something or releasing karmic things that we've already learned that we don't need to keep learning. What works, what doesn't, who works, who doesn't. It's kind of that energy, so it can definitely bring in a lot of good vibes. So I would still kind of like, yeah, you know, we can fuck with the 8-8 portal, but it's not a real astrological thing, you know. So wow, the Ace of Pentacles, look at that pretty diamond. Diamonds are forever. Okay, so this is a great energy for this week. It's a new beginning. Like I said, with Venus moving into Libra, there's this a bit time to like rebalance connections, which can start a new sturdy foundation, setting expectations, communicating from your heart with Mercury moving into Leo, with Chiron and Taurus, like really slowing down and looking at where you want to make sure that you are understanding your value and not outsourcing it, but really, you know, being able to cultivate it from within. That creates longevity, long-lasting energy. Ace of Pentacles is very sturdy, stable. It's solid, right? So this week feels like we can really start something solid with true reflection and balancing and expression of self, okay? What's on top? Wowzers. The Wheel of Fortune. This is major. Okay, we might need to highlight this week, y'all. The Wheel of Fortune, we have this going into a week where we have an eclipse. I would expect to get this energy next week. We might be already feeling the pre-effects of the eclipse with this energy shifting this week, because the eclipse, you know, is destiny. Things happen whether we think they're gonna happen, make them happen, want them to happen, manifest them. Like, it is a boom, this is happening kind of energy, and that's what the Wheel of Fortune talks about. It's destiny moments. So I think this week is really creating some type of really sturdy environment in terms of what is for us on our path, and that what we were always going to get here. It was just a matter of time. It was a matter of going with the ebbs and flows of life. But this week I feel like is really balancing our what we need, what we want, and bringing it into a true form. Ace Pentacles, earth, real, tangible. I can hold it. I can experience it. But it's also through the revealing of where we don't have any control. And that's the Wheel of Fortune, the flow, the allowance, and just saying, okay, Jupiter and Leo, bring me what's best for me, right? Bring me what's best for me to grow and to expand, and bring it into a fertile environment that can grow and sustain. So this week feels very pivotal, especially as it's walking into eclipse season. We're already in eclipse season, but eclipse week. So yeah, this is a big week, you guys, in terms of us starting the future, starting what's next, being on this new path. And I think we talked about it last week because we took the leap of faith. And because we took that leap of faith last week, now we're here. And so Spirit's like, okay, it's time to bring in what you're going to start to tend to. And you have to remember that it's not always going to feel 100% yay, because that's the balance of life. So balancing your emotions, balancing your mind, and still learning how to express your truth is a lot of the energy of this week. So that is your Monday mood. Blessings. I'll see you guys next time.